Carlos, welcome to the show. Thanks for being a part of the show, my man.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, no. Like I said, I wanted to get you on the show because I've known you for a long time. How many? Maybe 20 years.
Like 20 years. I think I met you in 2000 when I launched the magazine.
Yeah, right.
2000,
yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, dude, tell us your story. What exactly? I know right now I met you in the salsa scene, but you did something really, really creative, really ingenious, and you created a magazine. So, I mean, let's start with that. What made you start your own magazine? And that in itself was starting your own business, and you wanted to kind of get into the whole world of being an entrepreneur. What made you start that?
Well, I was already an entrepreneur since I started working on my own since I was actually like 18 years old. When I was back in Mexico, I had my own restaurant, a little coffee shop, selling hamburgers, hot dogs, sandwiches, all that stuff.
Nice.
Going to a university and working at the little shop. So something happened, and I had to move over here for a little bit. Nice. Honestly, my dad was living here in Santa Ana, in Orange County, right?
Okay, nice.
So, and I was going to school and I was working, but I had a girlfriend and she had a problem. So, to make the story short, she ended up going to my home. So, she's like, oh, you know what? So I'm leaving my house, blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, you know what? I can help you out. Like, let's try to find out a friend so you can stay with them. Says, no, you know what? I want to stay with you, or I'm just going to be on the streets. You know how this drama, right? Yeah. So anyways, to make the story short, it's like, okay. So just stay in my room, and next day I'll talk to my mom and we'll figure something out.
Right.
So, and my mom said, you know what? Like next day, like you can stay with your girlfriend here I'll give you 1 month or 2, but after that time, I don't want you to be living here in my house with with her.
Right.
So, and I was studying, and I have this job. Mm-hmm. It was very hard for me because I didn't have a car, so I had to take the bus. So what I did, my dad was already here, so I came to United States here in Santa Ana for 1 month.
What year was this?
That was 1990.
Okay.
1990, yeah.
Okay.
1990. So the plan was to come here to make some money, go back there and buy a car, right? So, but I stayed here. My dad, after I stayed here with him about a month, he left. He went back to Mexico. Mm-hmm. So I stayed on my own because in 1 month I didn't even have a job at all. I couldn't get anything, right?
Yeah.
So I stay here, and so it's a long story there, but to make it short is like this. To make it short, I was working selling products like cosmetics, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then I moved on and I started doing my own brand, like cosmetics. Yeah. So I have cards, like 5-6 cards in Los Angeles, West Covina, all over the place. Mm-hmm. So in that time, so in 1995, that's when I started a magazine. I started dancing salsa.
And how'd you get into it? Because you were selling cosmetics. In fact, I remember you were selling perfumes still when I first met you.
Yeah.
And how did you make the transition? Like, how did you get into the whole salsa scene? Did you just go with a friend, or how did you get into that?
I had a friend, and he loved to dance and all this stuff, right? He already knew that dancing salsa and all this stuff, and so he introduced me with that. It's like, let's go to some classes. I said, okay, why not? So I explored. I took some classes and I loved it. So after I learned how to to get the basics. So I started going to these clubs. There were not many at that time, but the clubs I remember,
Rodolfo's.
Remember Rodolfo's? The Bold House when it just started it.
Bold House, that's right.
And they started the Sportsman Lawn.
Right. Just a handful. It was like
a handful. Yeah.
Right, okay.
So anyway, so I started going out dancing. So that's what happens because I didn't know where to go. It's like, okay, so there's this club here and this club here, and what else? I mean, what else is there? So it occurred to me, it's like, you know what? There's nothing there. I think we didn't even have the internet then. We have emails, I think, but not the internet the way we have it right now.
Right.
So it's like, you know what? There's no. I need to find out where can I take classes? Where can I go dancing? You know, where events, social events, whatever. So there's nothing. So it occurred to me, being an entrepreneur, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should do a newsletter.
Right.
Because at that time I already have a lot of friends like salsa dancers, right?
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'm gonna start a newsletter. Even I can do it on my computer. You know, do a research, blah blah blah. Put everything together, and when I go to the clubs, I'll just give this like couple pages to my friends. You know, say, okay, this is what's going on. If you know any other clubs, whatever, just let me know, and I put information here. So that's how the idea started growing up since 1998.
Wow. Okay.
So by that, and then occurred to me, like, I don't know, somebody says, you know what, it's like, oh man, it's like, you should do like a bigger newsletter. You should like go find like a printer or something like that, make it more professional. And then it clicked to me. It's just like, I remember I was like in a place and I was reading a magazine and it was just right there. Like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should do just a magazine about that.
Right.
You know, it's like to feature all the clubs, the DJs, social events, Congress,
right,
anything. You know what I mean? And articles about the artists and whatsoever. So that's how the idea started it.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing that I had my company, the cosmetics, I was making good money there. So I didn't struggle so much finding the resources, you know, to pay for the magazine.
Right.
So I started researching, you know, printers, getting quotes, this and that, boom, and hiring editors and graphic designers.
Nice.
Find the right person, boom, boom, boom. That took me about a year. And then, you know, I started like getting the writers and all that. So that's how it came together like that. You know, there was a lot of work, but it came together that way since I launched it in 2000.
Wow. And because there was a point where everyone knew about the magazine. You would see it everywhere.
Oh yeah, even
everywhere.
Even went to Germany. I don't have it right
it went
here.
To Germany.
Even went to Germany and they did an article about that.
Wow.
Yeah, they did an article about that. They did an article on one of these newspapers in Orange County. I don't remember if it was the LA Times or there was the OC Register or something like that. It was a long time. So yeah, it went to a lot of places. It went to Europe. It went to, it went Utah, Vegas, New York,
right? All
the stuff. Because what I did, I have I have a lot of friends, so I will set up regions, right? Like, okay, I have my East Coast guy, I have my West Coast guy here. Yeah. I have the person who's going to hit all the clubs here, even to a point that I have a distributor. They love the magazine, and they say, you know what, we love your magazine. I think it has a lot of potential. It's going to do great, but we need more pages. So that was a problem, because we needed more pages, and the magazine had between 32 to 46 pages, something like that.
Right.
It changed all the time, because depending how much I sell, you know, about the ads, that was paying the magazine.
Right. So it's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work. Yeah, that's a lot of work. And but yeah, it was pretty successful. And if I continued that, it will be probably like, I don't know if they will be still existing right now, but it had a lot of potential, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Do you recall at what point the highest amount of magazines you printed in a single run?
I think there was 150,000. That was in like 2003. Like, no, in the second year, 2002. Okay. It was like a lot of demand and all that, and I have very good sponsors, you know, like people very good sponsor. So yeah, so that's why I printed so many, and that's where it went to, like, even Europe, to the congresses. Even I set up a table one time at the Puerto Rican Congress there too.
Mhm.
I had a couple people there giving the magazines away and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
So 2003 was when you printed the most magazines, but
2002.
2002. So also around that time, 2003, 2002 was really where the internet started to really become more popular.
Exactly.
So that's around where YouTube was coming along, and it, you know, I would imagine that just the rise of the internet made it difficult to continue.
It was not that, actually. It was it seems that way, but it was not the reason. There's two reasons that I stopped doing the magazine.
Okay.
Well, actually three. First of all is because I felt bad about paper, wasting paper, you know, because people will read a magazine, and a lot of people, I will find it like in the trash cans, whatever, you know. It's like, oh man, I don't like to waste so much paper, you know. I'm very environmental in that aspect.
Yeah.
The second thing, it was that it reached to a point, salsa community is so small.
Right.
It reached to a point that it was very hard to get sponsors.
Right.
Getting ads, you know, people, they want to be featured, they want articles, they want, hey, you know, I have a club, I have a social here, just put it in your magazine. Like, yes, I can put it, but, you know, can you contribute with something?
Right.
Oh, no, you know. So, you know, like,
I'll buy you a drink. How about that? I'll buy you a drink and then we get an ad.
Exactly. Pretty much that. It came to that, right? You know how people are sometimes.
Yeah.
So it came to a point that it's like, you know what, I'm getting my the regulars, you know, like at that time, like Albert Torres was like very supportive of that. You know, he always pay ads, Steven Stehaus, Granada, and a lot of instructors, you know, like Salomon Rivera, and a lot. I don't want to name, but so people don't get offended or whatever.
But there was a lot of
or upset, because there's a lot of people behind that are supported. But it was just enough to keep it that way.
Right.
You know, to keep it that way. And then the third one is when I was getting divorced.
Okay.
So I was just, you know, I was depressed. I just didn't want to deal with that.
Yeah,
and
a lot of things going on.
A lot of things going on. And also, actually, I should mention, there will be the fourth one. That's when I came in my transition from doing the magazine to being a promoter and DJ.
Oh, I see. Okay. So that was the time where it started changing.
Exactly.
When you were running the magazine, what kind of experience did you have running a magazine, or what kind of experience did you have selling ads?
Well,
or
none.
You kind of just learned that on your own.
On my own, yeah. I had no experience at all. So I started from the same way I started my cosmetic company, from the scratch, like finding out who's the factory, who makes the bottles, you know, who the stickers, who to labs, blah blah blah, right? So the same thing. I search. Right. And then
you put in the work.
Put everything together and get to work. That's how you do it. You know, there's no way around. There's no shortcuts to be as successful on something. It's a lot of hard work. Wow. So anyway, I did everything. You know, so I started, like, for instance, the sales. I started small. I started with my friends. Like, you know, I will talk to you. Hey, you know what? Hey, let's say you're an instructor. Hey, dude, you know what? I'm doing the magazine. You know, I can help you. You can help me. You know, it's like we can do an article, or you can put an ad, or just mention that class, whatever. And you know, and like that. So I break down the list for prices. How much is the cost for the magazine, and how much do I need?
Right.
So to be solvent, blah blah blah. So that's how I put it together. And it was good. It was making me money. I was making a living, not like to be rich, but it was making a living. Put it that way. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So once you made the decision to end the magazine, you made the transition into promoting and DJing. Was it promoting first, or was it the DJing first, or was it a combination of both?
It was a promoting first, because when I had the magazine, what I did is I will do an event. for instance, when I launched Sabor magazine, I remember I did an event here. I don't know if you went there or not, at the Gitana here, the Gitana nightclub here in Burbank.
Yeah, okay, I remember.
Yeah, I remember. They give me the door that day. I don't know what day was it. Anyways, I have Somayor and I have, I think, Johnny Polanco. I had those two bands there.
Yeah.
So that's the first time I promoted it.
Okay.
And I promoted it through friends, and through the magazine, of course. And that was very successful because we had like 500 people right there. It was like, it was packed, that place. It was packed.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, I like that. And that gave me another idea. I said, you know what? Every time I will launch a magazine, I will do a party. I will do an event. For the next edition. And with the money that I make from that event, I can put that into the magazine and get more copies. Okay. See what I mean? So now I have the ads and now I have the events.
Nice. Okay.
But I couldn't do so much events because I was like pretty much 24/7 with the magazine because it's a lot of work.
Right.
Because at that time, actually, I was also doing the graphic designs. I did most of the magazines. I did it on my own, my graphic designs.
Wow, that's a lot of work. Shit.
That's a lot of work. You have to do the magazine, collect the articles, and send them to somebody to edit that, proofread that, bring it back, put it together. Put it together in the magazine, and the graphics by itself is consuming.
Yeah,
so and now we're not talking about sales, which is the energy. You need to have money to print the magazine.
Sure.
So anyway, so I will do the event through the magazine, and I will say, for instance, with the majority of the events that I did at that time, that was with Albert. And I say, Albert, I have let's say I have Fruco on the cover, and he's coming over here. He's not going to charge me any money. Because we feature him in the magazine, we just need to pay the tickets, the airplane tickets, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And all these events I did it, I will get maybe a little money, but not much. And of course, the promoter will get all the money,
Yeah.
But I was doing that just to help me if I needed more money to print more copies.
Okay.
And for the exposure,
Okay.
to the exposure, to have a magazine there, to make noise, all that stuff. So and then it came to my idea. It's like I need to do my own events because pretty much I'm doing pretty much all that work, all the promotion, and all these people that are coming here because there's an event. It's a Sabor magazine event. I have all these dance companies that want to come over and perform for free, or I have a lot of help, a lot of sponsors, and I said, you know what? So I should start doing that.
Okay.
So, and that was at the time when I was like getting divorced because the same thing, because I was not putting too much attention to my marriage because I was extremely busy.
Yeah, right. You had the magazine, you had the promotions to the clubs. Yeah. A lot of stuff.
So okay, so the magazine, it did very well. It did very well. It expands so much to a point. You always in business, you reach a point, and then either you stay there or you go down.
Yeah.
Right. So you have up and downs in all the business. So it reached a high point, the magazine, and then I had to make a decision. Okay, so I had to make it bigger, or I had to do something else because it got to a plateau. That I was not getting more money, and I said, okay, I had to make a decision. I had a distributor, but I need more pages. I need to have like 150, I don't know, like over 100 pages, right?
Right.
And then I said, well, to be in the mainstream, it has to be not just salsa. It has to be Latin magazine.
Right.
To have all the
everything.
Music,
everything. Yeah. Right.
And I didn't really want to do that. Because it's like so much work. Even with salsa, which is very small, it was a lot of work. Now with the rest,
and then and also it would have been a lot harder if you think about after you made the decision to end the magazine. As the years went on, it seemed like all print magazines just started to decline because of the internet.
Exactly, and I didn't realize that. So pretty much I was lucky because I was to a point to actually buy a printer, like a print shop, like a machine to make my own magazine there. I was to that point. I was invest like $500,000 to buy that machine.
Right.
I was at that point, and then with my personal issues and all that, I said, you know what? No, and at that time, I already realized that you get certain amount of support in the salsa community, and we're talking about at that time, which was the peak of the salsa scene at that time.
It was.
When everybody will help you out,
right.
People will call you, people will invite you to things. There was no egos. There was no like, oh, only my group or this and that. You remember?
Yep. That was the mid 2000.
That wasn't exactly.
Yeah,
exactly the beginnings of 2000 to the middles of that, you know.
Yeah, right.
And so, as I said, it was to a plateau, and then so I started. I said, you know what, I'm gonna start doing my events, and actually, how I started promoting and decide, you know what, I'm done with the magazine right now, is when I started promoting tapas in 2003.
Okay. Oh, you started that in 2003?
In 2003,
oh,
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 2003. I started tapas, and I had a friend there who that club was they playing everything, right? And he was one of the regulars there, and the owner talked to him because he used to go there every weekend, and he said, you know, to him, hey, you know what? We need a promoter. We need somebody here to bring people. Blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
They try some promoters that try salsa, but there's nobody here. It's only old people. So, anyways, he took that club. He took tapas, right? And he was my friend. Says, "Hey, you know what? Do you know any DJ, or you wanna come over here, bring your CDs? Because I mean, I have a lot of music there."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then said, "You know what? Yeah, why not? Let me." Because I was thinking about that already. I was thinking, you know what? This is a good door for me. When opportunities come to you, you don't hesitate. You have to make a decision right away.
Right, it's true.
You need to make a decision right away, because if you start like trying to figure it out, this and that, there's a lot of things that come into your way, and then it's going to stop you or whatever. So anyway, I said, you know what? Yeah, I'll help you out. Let's go Fridays. I'll be your DJ, so I get some more experience actually as a DJ. You know.
Right.
I already had some experience as a promoter. I told him, you know what, that's fine. I can help you to promote. You know, I still had a magazine there. I was still having a magazine until 2005.
Right.
So I said, okay, so yeah, I'll help you out. And then after a couple of weeks or 3 weeks, one day he didn't show up. I don't know, it was a mess. So anyway, the owner got so upset with him. Something happened. And the owner says, you know what, look, hey, you want to take it? You want to take tapas, you know? And I said, yeah, I'll take it, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember, I don't know if you remember that time, it was so small, man. They only had a flamenco show there.
Yeah, they did.
They were like, most of the place, there was just little tables around it. There was another room over there. It was just small, you know? So, so that's how I started it. And then after a few months, we have a good crowd. We have over 100 people there. It was successful, and then so that's why I realized, you know, it's like, I like this because you know what, this is no overhead. Having my company, like the cosmetic company, I have over 50 employees there. So much taxes.
Yeah, right.
Taxes with employee taxes, the all kind of taxes. You know, it's a lot of overhead. With the magazines, a lot of overhead. You have to pay this, you have to pay that, boom, the printing, which is very costly.
Right.
And I said, wow, being a promoter, this is cool. I mean, it's just. I mean, yeah, it's work, you know, but I don't have any overhead.
No overhead. It's all cash.
It's all cash. And I said, you know what? Look, I already doing DJ. I had the music. So why do I have to pay DJs all the time when I can do it on my own?
Yeah.
So that's the idea. It came to me like, you know what? Okay, so in 2003, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start. I started with tapas.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And it good. I figured out how you do the whole thing to put it together.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, you know, that's how I started promoting, but still having the magazine. I will still have the magazine, but I will keep the magazine in that level.
Okay.
I didn't want to expend more. Like I keep it like 50,000 copies, like low, just for the local clubs and all that stuff.
Right. Right.
You know, so yeah. So after I decided, because that's the main thing for business, make a decision. After I decided, you know what, this is what I want to do. Then I start like looking. You know, I remember the second time, I was at the office. I was like right here looking, because that's where I look. I look at the newspapers. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, okay. So this is a club, or this is a restaurant. They might want to advertise. Blah blah blah. So I came to me, Mama Juana's. Remember Mama Juan?
I do. One of my
they
favorite
had
clubs.
Yeah, they had an ad in, I think, the LA, the LA, the Classify, something like that. I don't know. So they have like, it's a restaurant, and they have Latin jazz, something like that, featuring on Friday or Saturday, one of those nights.
Yeah.
So I called the owner. I went over there to see him and make a meeting. We made a meeting. And then, so that's why I said, you know what, I'm a salsa promoter, a DJ, I'm an entrepreneur, I have my magazine, I have all this.
Right.
So I'm looking for a place to host my salsa nights.
Yeah.
Here in LA. Oh, he loved it. He loved it. Like, yeah, it's like, what do I have to do? Like, well, it's just nothing. You just give me the door and just have your personal right there, and I'll do everything. Oh, I don't have to pay anything. No, you don't have to pay. I'll do all the promotion.
Yeah.
So that's how I started, doing these packages.
And this was pre-internet, or this was around?
No, it was before the internet.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Right.
Yeah, because I had a plan. This is how I want to promote. I had a magazine. I had, at that time, there was the emails, and I have a large email. Yeah, I will, with all my friends, I will contact my emails. I will have like thousands of emails there.
Yeah.
And I remember in American Online, like go like for blocks to email all these people there. Wow. It was a lot of work. And I had the flyers, putting the flyers in the cars, boom, boom, boom. It was a lot of work, right? Yeah. But anyway, so that's how I started the second on Thursday nights, Mama Juana's.
Yeah, which was a great night. That grew to a very respectable Thursday. Everyone remembers that club in Studio City.
Oh, yeah. And
everybody.
After Thursdays, they got very popular, of course, very popular with the Latin community. And then the owners start moving like, okay, Friday, now Saturday, this and that, Tuesday. So I get all, that's what the way it was there. Right. So after that, my plan was to be working every single night, having a club every single night. That was my plan as a promoter.
That's tough.
But you have to have a plan. See what I mean? Right. If you have two options in life, you have to do something. If you want to do something, you do it professionally, or you do it as a hobby. So you have that option. So if you do it as a hobby, you're not gonna make money, whatever you do.
Sure.
Yeah, you have fun, but you're not gonna make money unless you do it professionally.
Right.
So that's why, as I said, when I said, I want to be a promoter and DJ and do my own events, have the magazine here on the side, and do all this, which is going to make me a lot of more money.
Right.
To put it together here, whatever it needs, whatever is needed. Every day a club. So after Mama Juana's, I went. I worked for a little bit the conga room on Saturdays. Mm-hmm. I had that, and then I went to. This one I remember. I went to Cohiba.
Mm-hmm. Long Beach.
Yeah. No, before that, actually, before that, I went to Mariposa nightclub because this guy.
That's right. It was across the street.
That was across the street. Yeah. This guy had a Latin night on Wednesday nights. The DJ, right? Right. And the owner, Mariposa, was actually paying ads for Sabor magazine. So we already had a connection there.
Right.
So one of those days, so it occurred to me, like, hey, I talked to the owner. I said, you know what? Look, I want to do a salsa night in Long Beach. Oh, you know what? Why don't you just take on Wednesday nights, because it sucks, blah, blah, blah. Right. There's no people here. So he gave me the door, went over there on Wednesday, and that's how I started salsa actually in Long Beach, because in Long Beach was only one club at that time doing it, but it was not really a club. It was more like a social class, which was with the Purisacas, the PCH. The PCH has been there for a long time.
Right.
But that was a very small. It was just a social thing, you know. It was a class, and after the class, there's some music and some dancing with the same students.
Right.
So it was not really a nightclub, right? So the first nightclub there was like Mariposa right there. So after that, to make the story short, I got an issue with the owner because that's how, if you want to be a promoter and DJ, that's one number one thing you have to learn. Learn that from the person. Because this is what they do. They want to milk. That's how they call it. They milk out the promoters. Right. I have a club. I hire you as a promoter. Bring all you people. Boom, boom, boom. 2 months. Okay. Now, you know what? I don't make money. I hire another promoter. Boom, boom. Yeah. So you guys are working for the club.
Right.
So, but I didn't know at that time because I was still new as a promoter. Right. I was still experiencing, you know, what will work, what wouldn't. So anyways, I did a mistake, and the owner said, you know what, Carlos, we have another DJ. I'm going to pay him $100. Like, what the heck? Are you kidding me? Like, yeah, we don't need him anymore.
That quick.
That quick. And that's nothing there's nothing you can do because I didn't have a contract with him, or it was that just verbal. Yeah. I said, okay, so from now on, I'm going to do a contract. So that happens after, right? So anyway, after Mariposa, my friend Flaco, he told me, hey, you know what? Do you know there's another club around the corner here? I went over there to see it, and they have a big floor. So, oh, really? What is it? They said, yeah, Cohiba's nightclub. So I called next day, I make an appointment and go see the owner, and I saw that club. I was like, fuck, this is huge. This is much better than Mariposa. I can fit 300 people right there easily. Mariposa, we were like this, brother. Like dancing, like shoulder to shoulder.
Right.
So anyway, I went to Cohiba and make that deal with the owner at this time with contract and all that stuff. And boom, that's how we started Cohiba's right there in Wednesday nights.
This was Wednesday nights, right?
Wednesday nights. This was already in 2004 like 2004.
Okay.
That's how I started there on Cohiba's and went for 5 years.
Wow.
4 or 5 years, Cohiba's. It was, oh my God.
That's another legendary club.
Exactly.
People loved.
People from Riverside.
Yeah.
People Riverside.
From the valley.
From the valley.
Everyone would go to Cohiba's. It's like a part of the salsa history in LA.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a landmark for salsa in the salsa history here.
Yeah, exactly.
And then from there, I switched to Sevilla nightclub.
Right.
Because again, with the owner, we finished the contract and says, okay, you know, I don't want to renew it. Actually, I'm looking for another promoters. It's like, okay, you know what?
Dang.
I think you're doing a big mistake. Said, well, let me try it. And, okay, you know what? Because it's fine.
Right.
So I went to Sevilla, and then they have already salsa there on Thursdays with Rudy.
Right.
Okay. And then I talked to Rudy and the owners. Says, you know what? I'm gonna switch it to Cohiba. And then and they said, I mean, I want to switch it from Cohiba to Sevilla, right? Mm-hmm. And I want to do it together with Rudy, but he didn't want to do it with me. He says, you know what? As a promoters, we don't like to work together, and that's true. You know, it's like only one promoter in one club.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard to have different people, you know. And anyways, to make the story short, there, Rudy, he had another day, I think Thursdays. And then he quit or something like that. So they gave me that nights, Wednesday nights.
Right.
And then I switched it to Sevilla, and there was another story. We stayed there for another 4 years.
Yeah, you were there a while.
For 5 years, probably. Yeah, from 5 years. Yeah.
So you promoted freaking Mama Juana's. You promoted, which is known as a very well-known legendary club at one point, where you grew it to legendary status. You promoted Mariposas, which was kind of short-lived. I don't think even Mariposas is there anymore. I think they closed it down, changed their name. I think it's a restaurant now.
Yeah.
You promoted Sevilla, and that is a very well-known club in Long Beach. And then Cohiba probably has one of the biggest legendary statuses.
Yeah.
Just people that remember it. But Tapas was the one that was Tapas the longest running club that you promoted?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, since
How many
2003
years? From
to 2017.
to 2017. Holy shit. That is a long time. And
Yeah, for 10 years there.
I remember when you first promoted that club, I went to the beginning and there was nobody there.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to a point where the last few years where you did do the promotions for it, it was always packed.
Mm-hmm.
So you grew that business and you grew that club for the last few years, which was really impressive. There's a lot of hard work in what you did. It was just like so many flyers, getting people the word out, getting all kinds of bands and all that. And the crazy thing about this is that you never had experience in clubs, and you learned it on your own, and it all started from the magazine, which is crazy. It's incredible.
Exactly.
It's an incredible journey, man. It's just like, wow. What do you think about the way the salsa scene is today? Because you were one of the few people that were there in the beginning, and now it seems like it peaked, but now you have it exploded in different parts of the world, like in Italy, like in different parts of the world. It's just so huge.
Right. So yeah, it changed a lot. You know, at that time, you remember that, the salsa was just here and in New York, pretty much.
Yeah, just LA, New York, that's it.
Here in the United States, pretty much those big cities. Europe, they didn't even know about that stuff.
Right.
They didn't even know about the stuff. So what we did at that time, since 1998, 1997 to, like, I will say to the mid 2000s, right? A lot of us, and I'll give a lot of respect and thanks to the instructors, because these guys are these guys that were the ambassadors of salsa.
Right.
They will go to one place, let's say started Utah here, and they will go to different places, Europe, and they started their own students. They're starting their own schools. It was like a rolling ball, you know. Like a snowball, you know, it was snowball. So one thing led to another and led to another. And so it expanded so much right now. And it's just weird because salsa is around the world. Anywhere you go, it's around the world. But here in LA, in Southern California, salsa, it's pretty much dead.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy, man. I mean, we still have clubs, right? We still have pretty much the Stevens, the Granada, Floridita,
right?
You know, those clubs those are the ones that are keeping salsa together right now. Like, other than that, it's just gone pretty much.
It's become so small, and it's interesting because it seems like LA was the capital of dancing on one.
It was.
It's where it started, and in the mid 2000s, it was so massive. Then it seems like a lot of the main and big instructors for some of these big dance companies decided to leave. They're like, oh, I'm going to Italy. I'm going out of the country. Everyone started leaving Los Angeles.
Exactly.
And now you have it so huge in different parts of the world, but LA is so small now. There's like nothing here. It's not impressive.
That's not impressive, you know. I don't go to the clubs right now anymore because I'm focusing on my acting. But you know, it's like when I go, it's like, wow, it's just not the same, you know. It makes me sad because
it's not.
It is, you know.
There's a few clubs, like you said. Like you have the Floridita, you have Granada. Some of the clubs you have Unified on 2. They're trying to kind of create their different style and they're doing pretty good. But
overall, that's good.
Overall, it took a big decline.
Only few, Like in Orange County, that's the only one I would say. In Orange County, there's 2 people who are doing the keeping it together, which is the people from Unified on 2.
Yeah.
Which it's amazing. It's a very good idea because they cater to one specific target or audience, right? They're very specific. They're not like, oh, we just all shot whatever. No. They're like on 2, and they play a type of music, and so that's good. So,
they got a niche.
They got a niche, right? So they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they want, how they want it. And the other one is like Esteban Conde, who also is doing great. He's social.
Yeah, he's doing really good.
And yeah, that's funny because one time at Tapas, I remember Steven, he wanted to be a teacher, right? And he had few students here and there, but he couldn't get more students. And he talked to me like, "Hey, can I talk to you?" It's like, what can I do to expand? You know, I wanna have a big class. I wanna do this. And he explained to me what he wanted to do.
Right.
So in 10 minutes, I gave him my experience of what I will do in his case, you know.
Yeah.
And I told him, you know what? Look, you have to treat your clients, in this case, your students, as your family.
Right.
You have to be honest. You have to be sincere to them.
Right.
So that means, you know what? You as a teacher, you have to, let's say, you have 5 students. Collect their emails and their phones, right? Email them or email them to call them on the phone and see how they're doing and tell them to bring another person. Right. Now you will have 10. And then next week or next couple of weeks, you will have 20, 15, 20. But you have to keep, you need to care about your group. Why do you think men, as a man, have survived in this planet? Because we work. Why? Because we have civilizations. What's a civilization? A group of people.
Right.
So the more you care about that group, for instance, that's you're gonna make it. Yeah. Like for instance, that's why Sabor it did good, because I had a lot of friends and all these friends that will support me. I have help. You remember? You wanna help me too. You help me in a lot of ways too.
Yeah, I remember, and it's good to have that core and supportive friends to help you. And I see Esteban having a lot of good core friends, and one thing about him, he's just a good dude. I've known him when he was just doing privates, and now he's really focused on his business, and he's doing good. He's doing good. So kudos to him, man. So
exactly. But see the point. The point is this: if he has a class, and he, you know what, just take my class, take the money. Okay, thank you guys. See you guys next week. Whoever wants to come over. It's not gonna happen, man.
Treats him like family.
You have to. I don't want to name. I don't want to name names.
Don't.
But a lot of teachers there.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
A lot of teachers there are like fucking amazing teachers.
Don't name their name.
You know what? I'm not gonna do it because these guys are my friends and I love them so much.
Don't name them.
I wouldn't
know who they are.
But you know who they are. Talented, but you know what? They suck on that aspect. Yeah. Just collect the money and make my money, whatever, because I'm so good. No, it doesn't work that way.
They also have a lot of ego, and you know, it's like you said, it's always great to treat people like your friends and your family, and you know, you have to treat people with respect. There's so many people that you know, and we're not going to name anybody, but they just have so much ego, and they carry themselves too high, like, and it's not the way to do business. And in business, you want everyone. I mean, you have to, and that's one thing that I respect. Luis Vasquez, you know him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that guy has always been respectful, always nice, never had an ego, always, you know, saying hi to everybody. I have a lot of respect for that guy.
You know what? You are so right. And he had this natural instinct about business, because besides talent, you need to have a sense of business. Otherwise, also you won't make it.
Right.
Even the actors right now that you see on TV, they're super talented. No, but yes, they are. But they have a team. They have a business team behind them who pulls them there.
Right.
People that don't see that, but they have that. So anyways, with Luis, I remember I took his classes.
So did I.
Bobby, you know? And I will remember when I go to his class, hey, how you doing? And he will say hello to me and chat, hey, you know what, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, like bullshit, you know, like guys and all that stuff. So he made me feel like welcome. He was not just, okay, that's my class, okay, $10, okay, thank you guys, bye. No. He was with everybody, boom, 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 joking around. You know how, you know, he's very like open, very enthusiastic.
Right, exactly.
And that's one of the things. What is the common denominator there? He cares about his people.
It's about caring. That's true.
You know what I mean?
So
So
let me ask you this. So now I think you dropped it. You were talking about the acting, people in the acting industry. You've been an entrepreneur within the salsa music scene for the last 10, almost 20 years. But today, you don't do that anymore. You're out of the salsa scene. You don't promote. You don't DJ.
Right.
But you've gone into a different venture completely out of the entertainment salsa scene that you're trying to find success in. So can you tell us about that? Like,
yeah,
you've been acting, trying to do some voiceover and acting. So tell me how you got into that.
Well, I have as a promoter, I have a lot of free time during the day because the promotion, the nightclubs, they pay for my bills for like you said, like for almost 20 years. So I didn't have to have a job that pays for everything. And so anyways, I have a lot of free time during the day, and a lot of times I was bored. Like, oh man, I need to do something, So I got on like an app, something like that. Oh, we're looking for extras for a movie. It says, what, I should try that. Like that's during the day. So anyways, I went there, and then there was like a scam because we want you as an extra, but do you have a headshot? Like, no, I don't have a headshot. Oh, you need to go to this photographer and blah blah.
Right.
I had money. Like, okay, how much? He said, like, a couple $100. Okay, that's fine. So I went there, got my headshots. Oh, okay, we'll call you, right? And then I'm sitting in my house with my headshot and like, what am I gonna do with this now? So I start searching now on the internet, like, extra work, background work for movies, commercials. And then I saw some also together, like, acting classes. And I saw acting classes, like, maybe I should just take an acting class. So I just took an acting class for fun.
Okay.
And then I love it. Man, it's like, I like this. It's like, first of all, I try to do it because I'm a shy person, actually. I'm very shy. I don't like people like looking at me or this. I don't like being in a center or be popular.
Right.
There's another thing that for the promoters or for anyone is the wrong thing. Whatever you're gonna do, if your motivation is to be popular,
right,
you are gonna drop on your heels because that's not a good purpose.
Right.
So anyway, so I took the class and I fucking love it. So I start taking more classes and more classes and more classes. And of course, like, oh fuck, I like this. So I start like, like doing some extra work background during the day, and I fucking start loving it. Right. There was a love that they increased day by day, until, it's like, I got tired of promoting and DJing. I was tired of like going at nights every day. Like not having my weekends. If I want to go see a movie at night with some friends, like when you guys invite me, hey, come on, wake up, party night, I'm working, dude. I was tired. I said, you know what? And also doing this for almost 20 years,
right?
You need a break. So for me, DJing, it wasn't more fun. It's because it was boring. It just was no fun, and with the environment, all that's like drinking and this and that. It's like it got too much to me.
Yeah, right.
So you know what? No. So and that's what I did. That's what I started deciding, and I decided, you know what? I want to pursue this. I already accomplished really what I wanted over here when I came to the United States. From being an illegal, from being on the streets, from asking money at the canyon, at the El Cañón in Laguna Beach. I was one of those people there, like asking for work since I was like 19, to have jobs, to have my company, to, all that when I want. I said, you know what? I think I deserve that for myself. Right.
So who do you start taking classes with, or how do you, like, where did you just go to a college? Did you go to a workshop for?
No, I went to, you can do that, but no, I went to, here in LA, they have a different, they have workshops, and they have classes.
That's awesome.
Like, like salsa, right? Like you go to one night and then you learn all that. So it's a lot of teachers here. So I got a very, very good teacher from New York. Fucking amazing.
Okay.
He was actually a friend of and roommate of Phil Hoffman. Phil Hoffman?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they pretty much studied together.
Wow.
So he is extremely good. So, so I started taking classes with him. And after that, I said, you know what, this is something I'm going to pursue and I'm going to do. And I started doing that since 4 years ago.
You started 4 years ago?
Yeah, about that 4 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
And yeah, from the scratch, you know, you don't need a lot of people. They go to universities. They have a degree as an actor.
Right.
You don't need that. You don't even
just take workshops and take classes.
You just take workshops, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, and I love it because there's a lot of it's just not the talent or not just the fact to be acting. There's a lot of things behind that. You know, there's a lot of things.
So as you were taking your workshops, at the same time, did you try to get acting gigs? Like, how do you go about to get acting gigs? Do you just go and register yourself with casting directors all over Hollywood?
Yeah.
Is that what you did?
Exactly. So first of all, the plan for the first years, or at least for the first year, I didn't submit anything. I was just, first of all, to sell something, you have to have a product.
Right.
And to have a product, it has to be a good product, right?
Right.
So for me, I was starting acting. You know, I don't want to go and sell my product. Hey, look, I'm an actor, and go put me in camera and fucking suck.
Right.
So, because I don't have a product yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't feel confident. Like, oh no. Once you have a product, say, you know what? Yeah, I can do this. I can do these roles. I can do these roles. And you have a product, and then that's when you start promoting yourself.
Right.
So I start promoting myself. There's a lot of websites right now with the internet. I had an agent, but I don't have the agent anymore. So I'm looking for another one.
So you had to work on your craft.
You have to work
a good few years before you felt confident enough to send out your headshot to different casting directors and whatnot.
Exactly. That was for me. Not necessarily is true for a lot of people. A lot of people are very confident and they're like extremely natural on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, you have a process. Like you can do it. You can learn through the process, which is most of the time. That's what I did most of my life. That's what I did. I didn't have to wait, you know, to do something. But this case, I didn't have confidence. I was not confident enough. And because also the language barrier,
right?
There's a lot of things, you know. It's like I didn't want to go to an audition where I was not prepared. So I really want to be more prepared to take it on and go to this journey.
So you took acting classes for a few years.
For a couple of years.
And then you started to feel a little confident, and then you started submitting your to different casting. Now, what have you been casted in? Any short films? Any? I've seen a couple of things that you've actually been in that you've actually sent me.
Well, a lot of things, yeah, and commercials. Yeah, I have done a lot of commercials.
Awesome.
Kaisers and a lot of commercials there.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, actually, right now there's couple that you can see. I don't know what TV. I don't watch TV so much.
Yeah.
Half for an Outer Square and what is the other one? I don't remember. But yeah, anyways, the commercials are there's a lot of them, you know. That's awesome. I'm not interested in that really.
You want to do more roles?
Yeah, for me, what I want to do is films. Is number one, or TV, you know.
Okay.
And that's the cheese. And for last month we finished a movie, a feature film. It's a full length, about an hour 20 minutes or something like that. And nice. that's the first time I'll play the supporting actor.
Nice.
You know,
awesome.
So
good job.
So, yeah, you know, because most of these movies have been there. Yeah, it's called supporting, you know, but you're not really supporting. You're part of the film. It's just in the film is the lead and the supporting actor, right? So that's what you see in the Oscars, right?
Yeah.
The best actor or the best supporting actor. So anyway, so that's the first time I got a role to be the supporting actor.
Right.
And it was a great challenge because I had a script right here. Actually, I had a script right here. Whole script right here. All these pages right here. You have to memorize most of this script. I mean, because I'm the supporting actor there.
Right.
You know, so I have.
How long did that take you to memorize?
It took me about 2 months.
Wow.
I got hired, in May, something like that. At the beginning of May it's like, okay, so I got a role. Like, okay, so you're the one. So they give me the script. So you have 2 months. They give me a lot of time. Sometimes they give you less, especially for TV, they give you less.
Yeah.
And anyway, so it's a lot of things. That's one of the things I'm telling you. You have to be very, very prepared. And that's what I love the acting, because it gives me so much for me to do and to challenge myself.
Right.
You know, like for me, like as DJing or promoting, it's done. It's so easy for me to do that shit.
Right.
It's not. It doesn't challenge me anymore.
Yeah.
Acting does.
Yeah.
Memorizing this thing and being in front of camera when everything is quiet and you see like 50 people around it and everything's quiet and everything, all the eyes are on you, and then you action. You're like,
Action.
A lot of people freeze.
Yeah.
A lot of people freeze. Like I remember
you've seen people freeze
all the time. Like this last movie, right? This girl, you know, she plays my secretary there in that. Okay, so we're in the scene, blah blah blah, with the lead, and my.
Well, cool, brother. Let's get started. I took some notes from where we ended.
Okay.
Where we ended was you were talking about that in order to be successful in acting, you need a product, and you can't sell anything without a product. And the product that you were referring to was yourself. You can't really go out and sell yourself until the product is developed in a way where you're properly trained in the field of acting first before you start to go and audition for some of these roles. And then you also mentioned that you are looking, or you got a new agent because the previous one wasn't really working out.
Right.
So if you want to kind of start from there.
Yeah, let's start from that. As I said, you know, it's like in every business, because as you know, I'm a business person, first of all. So for any business, you need to have a product. What are you going to sell?
Right.
It's a product, it's a service.
Right.
Like for an artist, is a service pretty much, because an artist, that if you do painting, is a service because you have, well, it's more like also like a product because you have a painting, right? Or the musician, you have a song.
Right.
For an actor, it's different because there's nothing like you can put out there in a physical thing unless it's a film or it's a commercial, it's a TV show.
Right.
So that's you. It just comes to you. So it's a different cat. And so when I start doing that, that's where I realized, like, oh wait a minute, this is a different cat, and that's why it got me hooked, because it was so challenging, because there's nothing you can work on physically. Everything is inside. It has to come from inside. See what I mean?
Yeah. What's the most challenging? Because from somebody on the outside, and a lot of people that are looking at just acting, everyone has seen movies. Is it the audition? Is it learning the craft? Because it seems like a lot of people's opinion of acting is memorizing the lines. Like when you see a movie or a TV show, a lot of people think like, oh my God, did all these people memorize the whole show in one sitting?
Yeah.
People don't realize that it's in segments. So, you know, do you find it easy to memorize monologues or lines, or is it that's more of a challenge?
No, it's a challenge. For my experience, there's two things. One is the art, the actor. So that's a different cut. It's a different story. It's like you go, let's say you get a script, right? You get a script and then you don't start memorizing right away. No. There's the technical part. It's a technical part and there's the art part.
Right.
So there's two different things. So for the art part, you need to know who you are, where you are, and what you're doing in that part of the scene or history, stuff like that, because you're representing somebody else's character. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you need to explore that, and then you develop that. And we do that all the time ourselves. Everybody is an actor in life.
Right.
Bottom line, everybody's an actor in life. We all actors. When you're in a mirror, you are the best actor because you perform, you do things, you say things, and in every situation you act in a different way with your friends, with family, or people that you don't know, right? Now, the technicality is so different, and that's the hard part, because you're right. You have to memorize lines. When you are on set, brother, you need to have your lines down completely, because everybody is silent. It's silent, no noise at all.
Right.
And you have lights here in front of you. You have the camera right in front of you, right here.
Yeah.
You have people watching you everywhere for all these angles. The lighting people, the golfers, everybody, the director, they're watching you, right? So you're right there, and okay, action. And then if you don't know what you're doing, you freeze. You freeze. I froze so many times when I started. Like your mind goes blank, goes completely blank. You go like, and God, okay, you need the lines. No, I already know them, but you're shaking inside. You're shaking. You have like right here. If you're not prepared, you know what I mean? There's two different aspects. That's why I'm saying. I mean, as an actor, you need to have a school. You need to learn your craft. Right. You really need. It's like, okay, it's like a DJing, for instance, in a small scale. In a small scale, because it's not the same as acting. You need to know where's your equipment, where's your what do you have to push. You know how you what button I'm gonna push and I can hear this song, and what button I have to push to hear the other song is coming up.
Right.
Is the same thing. You need to know what's up. You need to know what are you doing, and you need to be accustomed or be familiar with the environment.
Right. You
don't let the outside here that you have in front of you to distract you, because that's the acting that you see in TV right now, and a lot of movies that you see it, you know, the acting, like especially the Spanish the sitcom, las comedias.
Yeah. Right.
Las telenovelas, brother. You see that. Oh, I told you no. Yo te dije que te fueras. Brother, it's like no life inside. They just memorizing the line. You're supposed to say, hey, quiero que te vayas hoy de mi casa. ¿Me escuchaste? And you see that.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so you know what I mean?
Like you don't feel it. Like
you don't feel it.
Like
why?
Some of it is just so cheesy. They just memorize the lines and they just recite the lines, but there's no feeling behind it.
Exactly. There's the two types. There's the two types. The actors that are pretty because you're a handsome, or the girls that they're pretty. Oh, I should be an actor. I should be an actress, or I should be an actor. Why? Because I'm pretty. I'm good looking, and I'm very extroverted. But it has nothing to do with acting at all, brother. Right. Nothing to do with it all. If you talk to, if you hear, if you if you listen to workshops with Al Pacino, let's say, right, or Robert De Niro, stuff like that, they say, you know what, I don't like people that look at me. It's like I don't like. Oh, can you hear me? Okay. So so there's two different things, bro. It's like the art and the technicality. So you need to learn all that craft right there, and then you need to practice and practice and practice and practice and practice.
How long have you been practicing since you started?
Since 5 years, at least 5 years. Yeah, wow. I've been doing this. I've been in school for 5 years, and I went to school with one of the best teachers from New York.
Okay.
Amazing teacher. So, but again, I started from the inner side, the acting side first.
Right.
So then when you were ready...
You took a lot of...
Yes, I took a lot of classes. Twice a week. Twice a week for like 5 years.
Is that pretty accurate? Around twice a week for about 5 years or so? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't like cameras. You hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, because on the screen says you are unmute. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
So the craft is like this, like everything else. You need to practice it, and you need to be comfortable. If you're not comfortable, and I learned that on the hard way. I went to some auditions, brother.
But how long did you start going to auditions? Because you said that you started taking workshops twice a week for how many years until you went on your first audition? So that way it gets
I went my first,
sense.
honestly, I went to my first audition after 3 months after I start taking classes.
Okay, after 3 months. All right. Okay.
And
how'd that
why?
go?
Because it went awful. It went awful.
What
It
happened?
went awful.
I want to hear it. What
I
happened?
I was so embarrassed, and because this, like for instance, I'm gonna give an example. There was some commercial. So in the commercials, they don't give you the script until you go there. You go there, you sign up, and they
Yeah.
call you. Okay, Carlos Flores, you're next. Boom. And you go and you have a little sheet, and you have to go and do your lines, right? Okay, so you face the camera this way or whatever, blah blah. And you're supposed to do this, and you are a father, you have 2 kids, and an airplane is coming down, and you look at that, and whatever, right? You have to imagine that, and then so you have all this information.
Mm-hmm.
You have all this information they're giving you, and also you have information from the
Mm-hmm.
I was more like and you stumble and you freeze and you okay, you know what, I'm sorry man. I'm sorry, you started over again, and there's something you have to go through. Every single actor, you have to go through that.
That's crazy.
You have to go through that. You have to go through embarrassing moments that you feel like the most stupid person in the world. You feel humiliated. You feel so many things because you're put it this way. I think maybe that's the best way I can describe it. It's like okay, I'm gonna be in front of you. I'm gonna do some things, but I'm gonna be naked. Imagine if you go in front of public, and then you just strip your clothes off and you're naked and say something. You want to feel uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
So that feeling, that's the feeling I can like relate to it. Okay. You feel vulnerable. You feel like all the attention is on you.
Right.
And if you don't have the confidence up there, you're dead.
Wow.
You are dead completely. You want to freeze. You can be the best actor in your house, in your room, in your bedroom. But in front of the cameras, it's a different thing.
How many times have you frozen?
Oh, so many times.
Yeah. Okay.
So many times. But as I said, there's the thing you have to go through.
Yeah.
Being in this industry in acting is not easy.
Yeah.
It is not easy. It's so challenging because you have 2 aspects. You have the art, and then you have the technicality, which is to be comfortable in front of the cameras, learn your lines. Like last movie that I did, we wrapped it up last month. Mm-hmm. There was like 90 pages for me.
Wow.
It was like so much dialogue. I never memorized so much dialogue in my life.
Wow.
And they gave me 2 months to memorize it. And that was very sweet because most of the time they don't give you so much time. If you are in TV, they'll give you in the same day, you have your lines, you have your script. And by the way, in TV, the guide is the writer. The writer is the guide.
Yeah.
So you have to say exactly what he's saying. You cannot change anything because he has a rhythm. You have to go to the rhythm.
Right.
You cannot change anything. It's different than a movie. In a movie and a film, it's different because you can put your personality there.
You can improv. You can add your own.
It change things like that, right? Because it's more about the character than the story.
Right. And then they cut it up, whatever they like. They put pieces together. TV, you're rigid. You have to do it. But line by line.
Line by line.
Wow. Okay.
And you have to memorize that in the same day. in less than an hour sometimes.
Jeez. Wow.
And you know what? If you cannot do it, like, you know what? They can fire you right away.
Right. Right.
The director says, you know what? Give me another actor.
Yeah, it's not working. Right.
It's not working out. Boom. Next.
How many people audition for something that you audition for typically? Like if it's
hundreds of people.
Yeah.
In LA, yeah. If you go to an audition, like for a TV or commercial or a film, there's hundreds of people. They do casting for about a week or 2 weeks sometimes.
Wow. Wow.
And then there's hundreds of people. So you have to be prepared.
Yeah.
Like anything else, you have to be prepared. Is you wanna run a marathon, you need to be prepared. You cannot just go, oh yeah, you know what? I just wanna wake up, get my juice, orange juice, right, and I just wanna go and run. No, brother.
Run 26 miles.
You're not gonna last 1 mile, right?
No.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You have to be prepared. You need to know what you're doing, because unless commercials are a little different, it's more easy. Because for commercials, it's more about the personality.
Right.
It's more about the looks, because you're representing a company.
Right.
Let's say if there's what I get the most, probably like a father or pharmaceutical company, right? You're representing like somebody like over 40s, and you know, it's like you're taking care of your heart, and you see, and I'm playing with my kids in the park, whatever. So they say, oh yeah, I like his personality, blah, 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 you know, his color, he represents a Mexican person, or he represents a Latino person. It's more about personality. You don't need much acting classes or in that way, in that sense.
Right.
Because it's fast. It's like when you're in a commercial, probably people, they will see you maybe a few seconds.
Right.
5 seconds, because it's like less than a minute.
Right.
50 seconds, you know, or sometimes 35 seconds. It's no more over a minute. So they cut a lot of things. They just want to show you personality. That's it. But for TV or film, it's different.
It's different. So what's the pay rate? Like, you know, if you're on a commercial, what do you? I guess it would depend, right? So what is the That's a big difference. When you're union, the pay is good. When you're non-union, the pay is much less. So non-union would be minimum wage?
No, not that much. No.
More not that much. So it's lower than minimum wage.
If you're talking about non-union, that depends the producers, depends the company. They can say, you know, it's like, we want to give you like $600, or we want to give you $2,000 for a commercial, and it's called a buyout. So that means that you don't want to get royalties. So they give you a check, boom, 1,000, 2,000, 600, 500, 800, whatever it is, or more. You know, it could be like up to that 5,000 sometimes, and that's it. You know, that's all you get. And I'm gonna use my video and my pictures for whatever I want to use it for. Right. But when you're a union, there's much more.
Different. You can get royalties if it's a national spot.
Well, right now it changed a lot right now with the union, because there's not much royalties anymore like they used to be before. So right now it's a buyout, but they pay you more. In other words, they pay you much more, like 3 times more.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and the treatment is different. There's the pros. The cons is that right now, non-union, you get more jobs. Okay. It's more work.
You get more jobs for non-union?
Yeah, like right now, I'm eligible. So it's called union eligible. So I can join the union right now if I want it. So I just have to pay like $3,500, join the union, and move on. But the thing is this: you get less work. So what I focus first is, when I study and all that, I want to get the experience. I want to be in front of the cameras as much as possible.
You want to build up that resume.
If for me it wasn't smart to go, you know what, I'm gonna go union. I'm gonna go to the big league right now. Like, no, why? Because I don't have that much experience. So for me, it's better, even if I get less money. For me, it's better to get more jobs, get more acquainted what I'm doing when I'm, you know, the directions with with the production and everything, all the logistics. I want to get more used to it. I want to feel more comfortable to do, even if I get paid less, but I get more experience.
Right.
So right now, let's say if I join right now, hey, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Why? Because I already went through the bottom.
What union is that? Is that SAG?
SAG, yeah, SAG-AFTRA, yeah.
So they're about $3,500 a year. Is that a lifetime membership?
No, that's to sign up is $3,500 a year.
Okay, a year.
And then after that, you have to pay every year your fees.
Okay.
It's not much, but the point is that
you're able to get more jobs now, so that's what matters. You're able to
if you want to work in TV, like let's say with the Walking Dead, or any TV show that you like.
Oh, I want to see you in The Walking Dead as a zombie.
Oh, brother, no, not like a zombie. The zombies, all these zombies are backgrounds. There's a different story. Background is different. Background, anybody, you can go and sign up to be background.
I'll get Mauricio to be a zombie. He already looks like one.
$100 a day, and they feed you, and all you have to do is like,
Hey, do you hear what I said?
You know what I mean?
Do you know what I said? I said I'll get Mauricio to be a zombie. He already looks like one.
No, you
don't need makeup for him.
Better than that.
They don't need makeup for him. He's good to go.
There you go. Mauricio. There you go. Just put in a little wig, and he's there you go.
Just make grunting sounds. Go.
Natural habitat. That's his natural habitat.
Watch. He's gonna be watching this right now. He's gonna be watching this. He's gonna say, "You motherfuckers."
You motherfuckers.
That's what he's gonna be thinking.
So, anyways, bro, that's the bottom line right there.
Awesome.
Pretty much.
Said. Well, brother, thank you so much for being on the show. It's a pleasure to hear your acting journey. It's just inspiring, man. People are going to listen to this and they're going to take a lot from it. It's just to hear your story, your journey of your transition from just being a promoter to a DJ to acting. It's just an incredible journey. And I wish you success. I know you're going to get some success. You'll be in a film soon. And one day you'll probably be really famous, and then people will start listening to this podcast and say, wow, that's how he started. He started back here. I
just hope I can help somebody because that's the ultimate thing in life for everybody is how can you help somebody else?
I think people are going to listen to this and be inspired just of how you started in your journey, brother. I think you're helping people already, man. They're going to listen to this and then really, really get some takeaways, which is have the passion. You have to really, do it for yourself. Find out why you're doing it is probably the biggest takeaway. So
that's it.
Yeah.
You said the right word, my friend. Yeah. And anybody who wants like some maybe no advice because I'm still in this journey and I'm nobody to give an advice to anybody, but for my experiences, if anybody wants to ask me anything, I'm more than welcome to help them out, whatever I know, and to direct them to the things that I already know, and they can benefit from it.
Where can people find you on social media if they want to reach out and ask any questions in regards to acting?
They can go to my Facebook, Salsa Clubs.
Okay.
Just type Carlos Flores, and I think they will come up.
Awesome, man. Well,
or my phone, or my cell number, 818-568-2983, and they can send me a text or call me. I'm willing because this is the most satisfactory thing in the world is to help somebody else. And that's why that's what I said. That's why the acting is so important as an actor to know what you want, because you are helping people. Right. Because when you tell a story, it can change your world. It can change the viewpoint. Yeah. It can change your life. You say, "What the fuck, man? Right. Wow, I was going in that path, or I was like this." You can relate to the stories, and it can change you.
Yeah,
that's why it's satisfactory.
Well said,
because
brother.
You can change people.
Oh, I love that. We'll end it with that.
All right, brother.
Thanks for being on the show, brother, and we will definitely talk soon, man.
All right, my friend.
All right,
Thank
brother.
you for everything, okay?
No problem, brother.